Good morning, church. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. We are thrilled to have the chance to be together with you, whether you're here in person or participating in our online campus. It is our joy to be able to connect with you this way. My name is Brock Polk. I'm part of the ministry team here at Heritage, and if on your way in from the car this morning, you noticed an extra amount of glitter or streamers or candy wrappers or any kind of anything out in the parking lot, it's because last night we had an event here on our campus that was, maybe like nothing we've ever seen. It was, yeah, that's right. You can clap for it. It was exciting. We've been hosting this event. We've called it Trunk or Treats. We've called it Monster Jam over the years. But last night, I saw a number of veteran volunteers, people who have been volunteering with this event for years here at Heritage, who at the end of the night, their faces looked like they had just seen something they'd never seen before. It was a crowd like we hardly have ever imagined. You know how preachers' counts go, but it was bound to be 28,000 people. I don't know. It was a lot. It was a lot of people here last night, and it was so fun to see our church engaged in serving the community this way. We partnered with the Homeowners Association from the Heritage Master Plan community, all these houses that are all around us. We partnered with them, so they helped us get the word out and helped us to create the event, but it was primarily Heritage people and the Boy Scout troops that we sponsor here that helped us to put on this event. This was led and organized by our children's ministry team, and we were just so proud of everything that was happening here last night. I was working one of the trunks myself, and it was just a steady stream of families that were coming through and expressing gratitude and talking about how thankful they were to our church for hosting and for producing this event and creating this moment for their kids to enjoy. I saw people from our church who went to great length to try to create an environment and an experience that was going to be memorable. I saw people that were in full clown costume with face paint and noses and all of that other stuff. I saw people that had totally redecorated their vehicles. I was hearing rumor about some volunteers who were here who were having to jump in their cars and make emergency runs to go and pick up more candy. We planned on a crowd that was going to be similar to the size of our 2019 event pre-COVID. Turns out that we ran out of that much candy in about 20 minutes, and so there were people making runs to go get candy. I was hearing about Heritage members who weren't here who were being called at home and saying, hey, can you please go to the grocery store and get candy to bring and come and make it part of this. The bucket of candy I was passing out, it was like the loaves and fishes. It just never ran out somehow, even though I would get down to like 2 or 3 pieces at the bottom, and then suddenly somebody would come by and fill that thing back up. If you were planning to go buy candy to distribute tonight from your home, you're going to have to drive to Decatur because none of the stores around here have any anymore. We bought all of it and passed it out to the kids in our community. And I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to our church and all of the ways that we worked together to make that happen, because I'm convicted that our church is at its best when we're serving together. And it was really inspiring to see what happened last night here on our campus. But one of my favorite things is our church serving together is not just a once-a-year kind of event. It's not the kind of thing that only happens on the last Saturday of October. And by the way, if you missed last night, you need to go ahead and mark your calendar for that date next year, because we want you to be a part of that. We want you to be here, bring your family, help us to serve. You could go buy some candy today and put it in the freezer and save it to donate for that, because we're going to need it next year. But that's not a once-a-year event, because our church serves together on a regular basis. In fact, some of you remember, if you were here with us last Sunday, you know that last Sunday, Jim Hackney, our executive minister, put out a kind of a final invitation for those who wanted to participate financially in the helping to meet the need, the cost of the major renovation that we had to do recently to our baptistry. And it was a project that was a little over $40,000, and as of last Sunday, we were about $27,000 or $28,000 short. And last Sunday, to my amazement, to the amazement of everybody in our leadership team, this church gave over $26,000 in one day to that project. Yeah. And then on Monday, somebody called the church office and said, what do you lack? We'll make up the difference. And so we've totally paid for that project now together. And the part that's so inspiring to me about that is that it's another example, another reminder of this ongoing conviction that I have that our church is at its best when we're serving together, when we're giving of ourselves, when we're looking beyond our own interests and our own needs and our own desires and saying, how can I help? This is part of who we are. And I don't just mean like because y'all are all people of good character, although we're all people of developing character. I mean, this is part of our mission to be formed into the image of Jesus together. We are a community of people that is transforming. And Jesus has invited us into a life of love, a life of goodness, a life of kindness, a life of generosity. And together we are living into that transformational new reality. And it's so fun to see when God works on you and when God works on me and what God does through us. And so we invite you to this kind of life together with us. I want you to know there's another opportunity that's happening right now. And if you walk out the doors on your way out today into the lobby, you're going to see a table out this door over your right-hand shoulder over here that's advertising and passing out information about our Thanksgiving food drive that's going on right now. And if you stop by the table, you can pick up a printed copy, or you can find this information on the app or the website or the Facebook group. But you can pick up a printed copy of the shopping list that's needed as we work together to provide food for people in our community who are food insecure and are going to need some help during the Thanksgiving holiday. And so over the next couple of Sundays, we're collecting that food. If you take that shopping list and just add some of those items on your way through your own grocery routine, you can bring that with you next Sunday or the Sunday after that, the 14th, and help to be a part of the mission and the effort that we're making to be of service to our community. But it's just one more of those things. We're at our best when we're serving together. And so that's why during every one of our Sunday services, we have a moment, an offering moment, when we get to participate financially in the ongoing mission and ministry that God's doing through this church on a weekly basis. There's things that happen through our church, that happen through the mission of our church and the connections of our church, where God's impacting the community every single week. And we invite you to this, not out of a sense of obligation, not out of any sense of expectation. It's simply an invitation. An invitation to this kind of transformational life together that has meant so much to the rest of us and that's changing the world one little point of contact at a time. And so we invite you to participate in our offering moment this morning. But while I'm on stage, I also want to share with you something exciting that's happening here this morning. We are actually, and you're noticing there's a lot of costumes in the room. There's a lot of young kids in the room who are here that are often down the hall during our services and our children's ministry programming. In fact, if you're a kiddo who remembered to wear a costume today, stand up and let's see what you wore. Yeah, let's give these kids a hand. We're so excited that y'all are here, and in the next few minutes, something really exciting is going to happen for you, because Miss Amy and the rest of the children's ministry team is going to take over the rest of this service along with the praise team, and we're going to spend some time thinking about what all of this celebration really means for us and what Jesus is trying to do through us. And so I'm excited for you to be a part of what's coming up in the next few minutes. Parents, if you got kiddos in the room, we would be thrilled for them to be prepared to join up here on the stage and in the front in just a few minutes. If it would help you, you're welcome to move closer to the front so you can kind of be around that. We'll make some space up here in these seats. But Mateo, you guys take it away. Let's engage these kiddos here for a while.
Yes, there we go. Come up, find a spot up here by the pumpkins. Take up all the stage. Okay. All right. Yes, love it. All right. So parents, friends, family out in the seats. Those of you in millions of attendance at home. I'm just kidding. Or am I? We'll find out. We're going to need your participation too. Could y'all stand up and help us out here? In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In your questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. You are the light, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storm. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Safe to shore. Woo! Come on. All right, kiddos. Y'all can go down the steps and then have a seat right on the floor. We want you to have a front row seat. Careful with the pumpkins. Careful with the pumpkins. Pretty please. There you go.
Okay, so that was really amazing. And I can honestly say that I've never really envisioned being able to worship with Darth Vader before. But oh my goodness, that was fantastic. I knew that Darth Vader didn't belong to the dark side. Well, thank you guys for joining us this morning. And I bet you notice all of us in here. My name is Amy Newton, and this is Amy Coronado and Kendra McClarty, and we are the children's ministry team here. And usually, every Sunday, we're down with the kids, but it's really awesome every once in a while to just be able to join everybody together and have a multi-generational service where kids can worship with their parents and grandparents with their grandchildren, and we can just feel what it's like to be a whole church together worshiping. So thanks for letting us be a part of today's service. And now with kids, like a lot of times when we're teaching down in children's ministry, we do some out-of-the-box type teaching because that's what really gets kids' attention. We have lots of object lessons and lots of interactive learning. And so that's what we're going to do today. And I'd really like to just ask you guys to just find your inner kid and just fully join in with us. Eventually, we're going to pass out glow sticks, and I want everyone to just use those and just let your kids shine, okay? But what we're going to start today is with all these pumpkins. And do you guys see all the different pumpkins that we have represented up here? We found as many different types in the patch as we could. And you can notice that there's some really small ones, and some that are really big, some that are dark, and some that are light, and they're all different colors. Some that have stripes and some that are solid, some that are bumpy and some that are smooth. They're all different. And they all have unique qualities about them that make them special. And just like that, I think God kind of views us a little bit like these pumpkins, that we all are different. But he doesn't see what we see on the outside. He sees something within us and what our exterior looks like, if we're big or if we're small, or if we have dark skin or light skin or anything else. That's not what he sees. He sees what's in our heart. And in 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 7, it says, "The Lord does not look at things man looks at. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." And today we're going to do a demonstration using this pumpkin. And we're going to tell a story about the gospel. And one thing that we've learned is that gospel means good news. And so this story is going to be a good one. To get to the story, we need to start in the beginning. And I mean way back in the very, very first book of the Bible, which is called Genesis. In Genesis, it talks about creation and how God created people. And not long after that, sin entered the world. And when sin entered the world, it broke the relationship between people and God, because God can't be near sin. And so we needed to have that problem fixed. And part of what the Old Testament teaches is there are so many stories that talk about God's plan to fix the sin problem. And we're looking at this, they're scooping out all of the guts and all of the seeds and all of the slimy stuff in the pumpkin. And we are going to think of that as being sin and the yucky stuff that is in our lives. And Jesus scoops out the yucky stuff. He scoops out the sin in our lives and removes the seeds of doubt and hate and the impurities and greed. Jesus is willing to get messy. Do you see how they're getting messy? I know, look at Miss Amy's hand. And just like they're willing to get messy, Jesus is willing to get messy for us. And he even made the ultimate sacrifice by dying on the cross for us so that it could start to fix what our problem was with sin. Jesus came to earth as a person, and he lived a perfect life. And he showed everyone that he met love. And he showed what God was like. And in the book of 1 John, God is described as love. And love is exactly what Jesus did when he came into the world. And the most amazing thing Jesus did was he sacrificed for us so that we could again have a relationship with God. But you know, this is a choice. This isn't something that God forces us to have a relationship with. We actually have to choose to have a relationship with God. And in the book of Revelation, which is the very, very last book in the Bible, Revelation 3:20, it says, "Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. Anyone that hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with him and him with me." So we can all choose to say yes to God and begin to change. And I think they're changing our pumpkin right now. In the book of 2 Corinthians, it says that what it means to belong to Christ is that we become a new person, that the old person is gone and our new life has begun. And look, they just transformed him. When all of the yucky stuff and the sin is gone, you see, we have such a happy face. And just like the carvers gave the pumpkin a new face, God makes us a new person. And if we leave the pumpkin empty, it's just hollow. We need God's light inside of us to make us alive. When you accept Jesus in your life, you start to glow. And you will want to tell others about him and care about others more than you even care about yourself. So do you guys see what it means to let your light shine? And you know, the really fantastic thing is when we shine our lights together. And last week, I asked the kids in elementary what it meant to let their lights shine, and they gave some amazing answers. One of the children said that it was to believe in Jesus and to follow him. Another one said that it was to be kind to others. And another said that it was to show God's love to others. I mentioned a little earlier 1 John, and I think that's the perfect verse on what it is to shine. 1 John 4:7-8 says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and anyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love." We can shine together and make a huge difference in our world. We were made to shine. And just like this pumpkin here, it looks so much better and is so much more fun to be around when it's shining, right? Well, we're going to do one more song together and then end with a prayer. But I want all of you kids, if you guys could, come back up on stage with me. And we're going to do a song together about letting our light shine. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Creep, creep, creep in the dark, it comes to blow out all your lights. Doesn't want you telling everybody that Jesus rules, alright. Let your light shine, whoa, whoa. Let your light shine, whoa. Let your light shine and let Jesus shine through you.
Awesome. Okay, stay here for just one more minute. Well, thank you guys so much for participating with us this morning and just joining in and letting us have a little bit of fun. I'm going to close us with a quick prayer, and then we'll be dismissed for today. Dear God, thank you so much for all of these children that are here and all of the big children that are sitting in the chairs. I want to thank you for allowing us to be a church that can shine in our community. And I pray that you give us all the